Good morning, just doing some eggs. Exciting day today. Friends Jan and Steve are coming across for a walk. So it's their walk they found here at Monachil. We're both an hour away. So we're going to hook up and have some fun together, which will be really good. But we need to fuel first. Don't usually do breakfast. This is very nice. And yes, I am eating out the pan to save on the washing up. So Monachil is nearly 1,000 metres above sea level, so it was a bit fresh. Friends have just arrived. So good to see them. We picked up the river walk along the gorge, which was wonderful, very leafy. We then started with some suspension bridges, which were really cool and a bit of a novelty as we hopped across the river back and forth, making our way up the gorge. Just on another suspension bridge, but this one's mega wobbly. We crossed about 4 or 5 until we reached this really long one, which was incredible. That was an epic suspension bridge. Whoa! We're in this really big gorge, and it's starting to get a little bit narrow now. And it did get a bit exciting, narrow and very low. Poor old Steve struggling there, but he was the tallest. Here we've just been, worth it. That was so cool. I love novel walks like this, they're never dull. This was the worst bit, a slight overhang, but Paul making that look super easy. The boys jumped down to the river for the next bit. Jan and I did it on our bottoms, very elegant. The sun then started to shine through because we'd made our way up that far, and we popped out in the warmth of the sunshine, which made all the difference. And along with the views, rather beautiful. It was wonderful. There's a bit of uphill climbing to the top, but it was worth every single step. The views here are just breathtaking. We continued up until we crossed on the top there, the views opening up, Bosun and Paul posing for a picture, and yeah, I just couldn't take my eyes off it. But it wasn't long till we were back at the gorge bottom again. We stopped for some lunch in the sunshine, which was absolutely beautiful. There are many options here, but then it was time to say goodbye to Jan and Steve. They were hitting the road back to their Airbnb in Cahorros, which is another beautiful place if you haven't been. It was so good catching up with Jan and Steve today. Yeah, good to see some familiar faces. We're back on the road, and now we've just found out we're going to meet up with my parents tonight. They're also out travelling in a motorhome, so it's like a day of wins today, and the sun's still shining. We only had a drive of about just over an hour, and before we knew it, we were in M.Xplores, which looked a beautiful place, a massive parking area right on the top of town with stunning views. Bosun was very excited to see Nanny and Grandad and got lots of fuss. We then threw a belly full of chicken in her before putting her down in bed. And then we took a walk into town to grab some food. And it looked beautiful at night. Cobbled streets, lots of churches, absolutely stunning. But the best bit was, as we popped out in the bottom, all the Christmas lights are on. And it's the first time I've felt a bit Christmassy since we've been away. We continued up the high street, taking in all the sights until we found a restaurant to grab some dinner, and I had some ribs. We just had an amazing meal. It's really cold. It must be, what, 5 degrees?
Yeah, it's fresh.
It's fresh, but what a beautiful town. We continued marvelling at all the sights on the way back, including the orange trees on the pavements, which were amazing. Here's an overview of our drive today from the east side of Granada all the way west to M.Xplores, which is just north of Malaga, so not a long hop. And here's our site on Park for Nights, very clearly marked, lots of space, recommend it. We're off now. We'll catch you guys up tomorrow when we look around the national park. See you then.